ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तम् तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेताः ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम् सन्नियं येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि
वसिष्यसि
मय्येव
मय्येव
अथ ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः।
संशयः।
अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततः मामिच्छाप्तुं
शाप्तुं
धनञ्जय।
धनञ्जय।
अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि
कर्माणि
कुर्वन्
कुर्वन्
सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि।
सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। Context. Thank you for explaining the ladder of objectivity. Krishna is known as the best example of being objective, Sakshi Bhava. Objectivity is understanding I have nothing to do with the person or situation. Krishna, while objective, still acted all his life. Action presupposes I want something, don't want something, cleansing, want to go somewhere. There is an intention behind each action. Correct. Now the questions. How do we act in the world if we have nothing to do with people and situations? Based on what criteria do we act? How do we act in the world if we have nothing to do with people and situations? Based on what criteria do we act? Answer. You act in the world. The only criteria for you to perform actions in the world is you have been taking. As long as you have been taking till you settle your accounts, till the karmic accounts are settled, you cannot attain. You cannot attain objectivity. You cannot attain moksha, liberation. It will be only big words that we will be talking. You have been receiving, and you have to settle the accounts by serving them back. If you don't do that, you can keep talking how much ever you want, you can keep hearing how much ever you want, but liberation will not happen because the karma, the karmic accounts is a block there. Therefore, you need to, what is the criteria upon which you have to serve? Because you have been taking. Now that you have understood you have nothing to do with objects and beings around, can you stop taking now? That's all it is. It's as simple as that. You cannot. Therefore, what does it mean? One day I will aspire to come to this point, but right now what I will do? I will serve. Objectivity means you have nothing to do with yourself first. What does objectivity means? It carefully follow. Are we saying in objectivity, Amit is the questioner. Are we saying that Amit has nothing to do with objects and beings around? Are we saying that? No. Amit is intricately connected to objects and beings around, and that Amit is obligated to serve back. And when we say you have nothing to do with objects and beings around, who's that you there? We conveniently take it as, we will conveniently take it as you means the individual. No, you, the individual, is not that. So then who has to practice this objectivity? You have to practice. Amit has to practice this serving. And this Amit one day can understand, I have nothing to do with Amit itself. When you have nothing to do with your own self, by default, you will have nothing to do with everybody around you. Carefully follow the sequence. Are you able to follow now? At one point of time, when you say, I have nothing to do with my own self, then by extension of it, you will have nothing to do with objects and beings around you. Now, when you have something to do with yourself, by default, you will have something to do with people around you also. Why? Because you have been consciously, continuously taking, receiving. Therefore, what is the criteria upon which we act? The criteria upon which we act is only one. We have been the receiver. We have been taking. Therefore, I need to give back. Are you able to follow? Objectivity means you have nothing to do with objects and beings around you. Why? Because you have nothing to do with yourself. If you have something to do with yourself, then by default, you will have connection to others. How do we say that? If you have to exist as an individual, you need the support of direct and indirect support of the entire creation. How can I say I have nothing to do with it? Are you able to follow the argument? Again, if you think you are the individual, you have, as long as you think you are an individual living, you are taking direct and indirect support from the creation. Therefore, you cannot say, I have nothing to do with anything around. For you to say, I have nothing to do with anything around, first you should be able to say, I have nothing to do with myself. Myself means a body, not my body. You can't say that. It is your body. It is your emotions. It is your intellect. Are you able to follow? Therefore, because you are so involved and attached to your own self, you must the way that you have to deal with others is, the criteria is the sense of gratitude. See, we go on using the word obligation, obligation, obligation. What is implied in the word obligation is gratitude. I don't know whether the English word obligation has gratitude in it. I don't know whether the English word obligation will mean gratitude in it. Sanskrit word rina means gratitude. So what is the criteria upon which you relate to everybody around you? Out of gratitude. Why gratitude? Because you have been receiving. But sir, why are you talking only one side? Receiving, receiving, receiving. Why don't you talk about me also giving something? No. Why aren't you discussing that part? Why are we only talking giving, taking, taking, taking? I'm also giving. No. Why don't you talk that part? Why don't we discuss that part? We will not want to discuss that part at all because we don't have the intellectual strength to weigh what I have been receiving and what I have been giving. If you have the intellectual penetrating capacity to understand what I have been receiving and what I will be giving, disproportionate it is. It is disproportionate. You may agree, you may not agree. That's a different story altogether. But the law doesn't remain this. But the law remains the same. What you have been giving versus what you have been taking, it is disproportionate. Therefore, we don't want to even talk about you are also giving, you are also giving. No, sir. No. 50-50, no, sir. I am contributing. I am also receiving. No. No. It is not like that. The receipt is always higher. It is disproportionate. You follow, Amit? Therefore, what is the criteria? Obligation is the criteria. Obligation, we mean gratitude. You follow? Objectivity technically means actor on the stage. Objectivity equals actor on the stage. You understand that example, actor on the stage? You go and perform a role. Do you believe that you have become that? Supposing if you act like the king, do you actually believe that you have become the king? You know that it's a role that you have to perform for a period of time. You know that you have to perform the role for a period of time. You will perform that role. That is Lord Rama. That is Lord Krishna. It doesn't matter. It can be Rama, it can be Krishna, it can be anybody for that matter. What do? They perform they understand that it is only they are performing a role. What does performing role means? You can perform the role only when you have when you don't forget your original identity. Otherwise, you will start believing that you are the king. Supposing you act like, okay, you act like Ravana, let us say. You will not act like Rama and all. I will act like Rama. Amit, you act like you. So understand. You act like Ravana. Will you actually start believing that you are Ravana? You will act. You will act. You will wear the 10 head. You will have all that. You will take the weight of the costume. You will do the dialogues. You will emote everything. You will do everything on the stage. But deep down, do you believe that you have become Ravana? Or deep down, do you still understand that you and Ravana have no correlation? That is called objectivity. Are you able to follow? It means, it presupposes what? In order to be objective, you need to identify with a different identity. As long as you have identified with the jiva, as long as you think you are the individual, you have believed that you are that individual, and you can never be objective to that. So in order to be objective actor on the stage, what is the principle required here? Identity must shift. What is the identity shifting? Level number 1 identity is you are a spiritual sadhak. You identify with the role of you are a spiritual seeker. Are you able to follow? Different layer of objectivity I'm telling you now. First, you identify that you are a spiritual seeker. Who's a spiritual seeker? Karma yoga, etc. And then you go to the next level of objectivity, vairagya, sannyasa, and then you go to the highest level where you identify with the self in you and perform various roles. This is called practicing objectivity. Are you able to follow? So in order to practice objectivity, you cannot retain your identity. As long as I believe I am Arvindan, as long as I am so convinced that I am Arvindan, I cannot practice objectivity. I will be involved. In order to practice objectivity, what I should do? First, I should shift my identity from Arvindan to whom now I can't say Brahman. Don't try that. Because it won't work. You can say, but then your mind will not. So then what do you do? I'm a spiritual seeker. I'm an aspirant. I'm a spiritual sadhak. I'm a tapasvi. Identify with that. Then you perform all the roles that are around you. And then you mature. You go to the next level, you go to the next level. You follow? That's how these great people live their lives. And when they do it, the English word acting again has a problem. Faking. The English word acting has a meaning of faking. Remember, actor on the stage, we are not using the faking aspect of acting. Identity is different. That's clarity in thinking. Otherwise, we get mixed up with every word, because in every word we use only the grossest usage of word only we know. Actor means one who knows his real identity. That meaning we will never give to an actor. What meaning we will give to an actor? One who is pretending, one who is faking. No. Actor means one who knows one who has shifted the identity. Anchored in that identity, he is performing this role. This is called objectivity. So objectivity means you have nothing to do with everybody around, because you have nothing to do with Shurpanaka on the stage. Who are you, Amit? What role are you playing? In the stage example, I told you are playing a role. What is the role that you are playing? Okay. No role power Gukutto, Vijay. We gave a role to Amit. What is the role we gave? Ravana. He's the Ravana. Yeah. So he has nothing to do with Shurpanaka, you have nothing to do with Vibhishana, you have nothing to do with Mandodari, you have nothing to do with Sita, Rama, everybody on the stage, even though you have everything to do with them on the stage. Are you able to follow the difference, Amit? You are not Ravana, I know. Not full Ravana, maybe half Ravana. Not full Ravana. Because I know him so well, that's why I'm saying. Is it okay, Amit? Third question, Pongo. I reflected on the being an actor on stage concept for being objective. Correct. Other you have tried already. An actor on the stage is given a script that he acts out. What is the criteria of our script based on which we have to act in the world without being attached to people and the world? Who gives the script? Actor on the stage. Yeah, actor on the stage. Very good. Amit, see, that's why I told you are half Ravana. Yeah, correct. You already know. Who gives the script? In the play, director gives the script. In life, who gives us the script? Dharma gives us the script. The actor tells you what to do or not to do. The actor tells you where you have to stand also. No, markings will be made on the stage. The director tells you in what angle you should look. The director tells you how much you must smile, how much you should not smile, everything. Who gives the script for us in real life? Dharma gives it. So we take the script from Dharma and follow that. So Dharma, whatever Dharma tells you, that's the script and you need to follow. And what does Dharma tell you? perform Nitya Naimittika karma, perform Panchamaha, perform Nitya Naimittika karma, perform Panchamaha yajna. Dharma tells you, Dharma is not that complicated. It tells you it tells you very clearly what to do. Do your Swadharma, do your Swadharma karma, do your Nitya Naimittika karma, do your Panchamaha yajna. Don't do Nishiddha karma. That also it tells you. Because when you are told what to do, you should be told what not to do also. Law means it should tell you two things. It should tell you what to do and it should tell you what not to do. And also it should tell you following the consequences, not following the consequences. That's all law is. It should tell you what to do, what not to do. What to do if you follow consequences. What not to do, you follow consequences. You follow, this is the dharma. So it is dharma that gives the script. Shastras is the script. That's why he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavastitau. In the matters of wanting to discern between Karyam and Akaryam, let Shastra be your authority. So keep the Shastras as the authority. Shastra means whatever we are, whatever discussed, like Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. It is Brahma Vidya as well as Yoga Shastra. That Yoga Shastra is what is called as Dharma Shastra. It is Brahma Vidya as well as Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. That's how we study Bhagavad Gita. No. Every chapter we conclude, it is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishadsu, Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. It is Brahma Vidya as well as Yoga Shastra. You follow the script. Next question. Wait. Please explain. God has no association with us. Why? Snake and rope can never have an association. Rajju Sarpa Nyaya. Correct. Wait for this answer. We'll discuss this question at the end of the 12th chapter. If you remember to bring it up again, you bring it up again. Then we will see where is God associated with us and where is God not associated with us. God is associated with us and God is not associated with us. You are associated with God and you are not associated with God. Chapter 7, chapter 9. I am in them, they are in me. I am not in them, they are not in me. Chapter 7 and chapter 9. Beautiful. You can never get more confused than that. And if you have resolved that confusion, nothing can confuse you later in life. I am in them, they are in me. I am not in them, they are not in me. This is how we are associated with God. The whole chapter we are going to discuss that only. 1 second. Yeah.
Human beings are considered as takers and consumers. My question is, the moment the body is born in some form, I'm not just saying that it has to come out. Even when the space is given for it to take birth, where some form of body is there. So that body being born and occupying space itself categorizes as taker.
Yes.
That itself becomes
that
a
correct. Yes. From the beginning you are taking. Correct. The very body occupies a space. That's why upon death, elements go back to elements, we say. The body occupies a space. Space lends itself to you. To you. So every part of the element you are taking. Each and every element you are taking, everything, we are takers.
So in that sense, it becomes disproportionate.
Disproportionate, yes. The disproportionate taking can be made proportionate, and you can transcend if you follow the Rina Siddhanta sacrifice. The disproportionate taking can be made proportionate, and you can even transcend that. Supposing if it said you are disproportionate taking, you can never ever transcend that. No, you can make it proportionate and then you can transcend also. How do you make it proportionate first? Panchamaha yajna, nitya naimittika karma, nishiddha karma must be avoided. Kamya karma, you do. Kamya karma, you do. And whenever you do kamya karma, remember there is a praschitta that's going to follow. Yeah, kamya karma will be followed by a praschitta. Because some error, all this will come. No. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. Shariya? Next question. Okay, layers of objectivity. You defined it as a capacity to say, I have nothing to do with what's happening, like watching a funeral procession, and to practice, start from the external, then come to internal. Therefore, first layer, become objective to situation and being around the environment, people around. The second layer is myself, physical body, emotions, ignorance, knowledge. Okay. One cannot become objective to myself first, closest. So get beaten up, can't do anything. Okay, go down. Also circles of layers, paying attention to myself first, closest. Circle paying attention, priority differs. Who to pay attention immediately? Some I can wait, some really doesn't matter, rest don't exist at all. These are all what is said. Questions. You say practice objectivity in your layer, since you all have layers, and don't start with the closest. What does it mean? Closest means where you are highly attached and involved already. Closest means what? Closest in the sense of attachment. So you cannot practice objectivity. You cannot practice objectivity in your deepest areas of attachment directly. There are some areas where you are not that. There are some areas where you are indifferent, detached. There are some areas where you are not so much attached. And then there are some areas where you are extremely attached. These are the layers. So where do you start practicing objectivity?
The gradation of attachment.
Gradations of attachment. In the layers of indifference, get rid of indifference. That is objectivity there. Because you should not be indifferent to anything. So in the areas of indifference, get rid of your indifference. In the areas of your attachment, gradations of attachment become what you should get over now. Get over your attachment. And getting over your attachment takes a while. In the meantime, how do you associate with them rightly? Practicing objectivity. You will not be able to practice 100%. Even if you can practice 20%, in all this, it is understood you cannot do anything 100%. Even if you can practice 20%, to that extent, you have gathered strength. You follow what I'm saying? So closest means layers of attachment. If you are not attached, you see things to which you are attached. Anything other than your attachment, we just don't see. It is just indifference. Are you able to understand this difference first? In the area, whatever you see only in the areas, your perception is always limited to the areas of your attachment. Anything other than that, you don't even see. That's not detachment. So to 90-95%, we are simply indifferent. That's where overcoming that indifference to the creation is Panchamaha Yajna, where you keep saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Are you able to follow? That is one thing. Another thing is what? That 5% you have layers of attachment. What is the layers of attachment means? What is the layers of attachment means? For the sake of one attachment, you will be able to let go of another attachment. Are you able to follow? You are attached to the job and you are attached to the children. Supposing if there is a conflict between the two, what will you do? You will let go of the job because you are more attached to the children. That is the closest attachment. Now you can't come and ask, how do I practice detachment with reference to my children, sir? How can I practice objectivity in relation to my children? The answer is, are you extremely attached? Yes, sir. That's why I'm wanting to practice objectivity. You cannot practice objectivity there. Then what is the use of this knowledge? Are you able to follow? That's how we have a problem. You have your areas of attachment. You have a chronic disease. Only physical example. You have a chronic disease and you want to get rid of the chronic disease in 1 day of medication. Is it possible? Chronic disease, intensity of the disease means the longevity of the medication. And the longevity of the medication means for the few months, you may not even notice any, but you still have to do. But you get very disillusioned very fast. You drop the medication. Why? Because you want it instantly. What is the mental roga? This is a physical roga, you can understand. What is the mental roga? Just as physical grades of diseases, there are grades of diseases mentally also. So where do you practice objectivity is the medicine. Where do you practice objectivity? Don't start from the intense. Start from that which is less intense. Try to be loving there. Try to be compassionate there. Try to be detached there. What does practicing objectivity means? Trying to be objective. Trying to be objective means trying to be compassionate, trying to serve, understanding your limitations. All this put together is called objectivity. I don't know what people understand. I don't know what you all understand as objectivity. Objectivity means if compassion is part of it. Wanting to serve is part of it. You also know what is your limitations. You also know what you should do, what you should not do. All this thing put together in one word is called Sakshi, objective. Are you able to follow? So people think objectivity means just standing out. Where can you stand out like that? You can't stand out like that because you are so involved. So where do you start with? You start in the lesser area of your attachment. There you can try to be more compassionate. There you can try to be more, and then you move up the ladder slowly.
So when you're saying in the areas of indifference, you practice objectivity, how do you practice objectivity there?
In the area of indifference, same formula. I bring in compassion first. I see it first. First, I should get out of my indifference. Get out of your indifference. How would you get out of your indifference? Panchamahayajna is the only method because you have to be aware of it. Awareness comes only when you continuously associate with anything. Therefore, Panchamahayajna is a very, very important discipline to get out of your indifference. You are not doing anything great by doing Panchamahayajna. You are, or it is something very great because anything that gets you out of your indifference is extraordinarily great. Therefore, Panchamahayajna helps you to get out of your indifference. What does indifference means? I don't even know I have to thank sun god. No. I don't even know that I should thank space. I don't even know why. I'm not even seeing it. I'm not even willing to thank space because this frame of mine is occupying that space. Wherever I go, there is space. It is allowing me to move around. I should be grateful to that. I'm not even aware of that. So what does indifference means? Not at all being aware. So first thing is you have to become aware. How to become aware? How to become aware? You have to every day do it. Awareness will not come from listening. Awareness will come from doing. Every day, sir. Wednesday cooking class, I will go. Saturday cooking class, I'll go. Sunday cooking class, I'll go. I have learned the ingredients by heart. I have learned the book by heart, but I don't know how to light the stove. Are you able to follow? Every day it has to be, every day it has to be done. If you are not doing, these classes should be a motivating. If you are doing, it will reinforce the motivation. That's all. Are you able to follow? So objectivity, Sakshi means it's a combination of it's a combination of few virtues put together is objectivity. It's not just standing apart. Now, where will you go and stand apart? You can't stand apart yourself. How can you stand? So what does objectivity means? You follow? Objectivity means it's not like this. Like, for example, who all use AI? Who use artificial intelligence? இருக்கிற இன்டெலிஜென்ஸே யூஸ் பண்றது இல்ல. இதுல ஆர்டிபிஷியல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் வேற you all want to use. But anyway, we are all part of the same club. I also use it. Soumitra, I also use it. So I was typing something, ChatGPT. It didn't give me what I wanted. I said, no, you are not giving me what I want. Oh, no, I had the intention of giving. It typed on. I had the intention. I said, wait. Then I had a beautiful conversation with that. What do you mean intention? From where you so do you understand me? I asked. Yes, I understand you. I asked how. Supposing if I say thank you very much, I will show you all that I have. Thank you very much, and I type. It will give a different response. And if I give this symbol, it gives a different response. If I just say thumbs up, it gives. Then I ask, how do you distinguish? This is how I am fed. This is how I am fed. So you have asked the best question. I said, wait. Answer from where you got this adjective that this is the best question I have asked you. It is so objective. It is so objective in using words, and I am the one who's getting lost in the words that it is using. And it doesn't even mean what it says. Is it objectivity? That's machine, isn't it? That's machine. That's not objectivity. Objectivity is you have a clarity, you have an understanding, you have compassion, you know what to do, you know what not to do, you know your limitations, you know how much you should go. With all this clarity, you perform actions. This is called objectivity. You follow? This you cannot start with your deepest or intense areas of attachment. You cannot start. Therefore, start with something which is away. Are you able to follow? Yeah. Next question. In the hierarchy of obligation, stranger, acquaintance equal higher. How to practice objectivity in all of these? Does it belong to external or internal? Who's the starting point here? Please give one relatable example. What she's saying is teach properly. Yeah. Give one relatable example. Teach properly. Venkatachalam, I should also come and learn from ma'am now. Yeah, I will also come and learn from her. I don't know how to teach properly. Because she's saying, please give one example is okay. Please give one relatable example means what? Anyway, I will give. Raj, Purida, gradations. What are the gradations of relationships we have? Stranger, acquaintance equals higher. All things can be put under these four broad categories. Stranger, acquaintance equals higher. For a newborn, mother is stranger or acquaintance are equal or higher? Stranger. It's a stranger. For the mother, the child is stranger. For the child, mother is a stranger. And then by continuous association, it becomes an acquaintance. And by continuous association, it becomes equal, isn't it? It never becomes above. Even though I also want to go above, yeah. Even though I want to go above, I'm going below only. Yeah. Yeah. So wonderful, no? Sometimes, so wonderful, isn't it? Sometimes children call the parents by their name, isn't it? Hmm. Does anybody do that? I used to think if I were to go and call my dad, what he would have done. Equals. Are you able to follow? So all relationships will always begin as a stranger and then develops an acquaintance, equal, higher. Objectivity means in terms of love and compassion, it is universal to all the four. Your love and compassion wanting to serve is universal across the four in attitude. When it comes to doing, because we all have limitations, we are not born with infinite capabilities. We are born with limitations. Therefore, I need to accept my limitations and act according to my limitations. Therefore, what will I do when it comes to serving stranger? I have served already. Where? Panchamaha Yajna. Strangers are already taken care of in Panchamaha Yajna. Are you able to follow? Acquaintances, I serve because I'm seeing them every day. Acquaintance means where there will be a regular contact. There I have more obligation. Equals, more, higher. Are you able to follow? So, in order to serve the stranger, Panchamaha Yajna, acquaintances, what will you do? You serve something, you don't say, I have done Panchamaha Yajna and stay quiet to the acquaintance. To the acquaintance, you stretch yourself more. Why? Because direct received. Are you able to understand the difference now? Indirect receiving and direct receiving. From the strangers, it is indirect receiving. Therefore, Panchamaha Yajna. To the acquaintance, you receive directly. Therefore, you have to serve them back directly. Equals, you receive more. Are you able to follow? There you serve more. To the higher, you will say what? To the higher, you will say, I am eternally grateful and all the goodness in me will be offered to him. First time when I read that, I thought it was so beautiful, so beautiful. I've never, the demotion that I felt at that point of time, I can still remember that. I heard, I read Vivekananda's discourse. Somebody gave me a book. I'm talking about 11 years old. I read that. I was just randomly picking up. Just randomly, there is one beautiful lecture he gave in London on my guru. Beautiful lectures he gave. I read that few sentences and then I didn't read after that because that itself was stirring up so much. He said, anything good that comes out of this mouth, understand it is Ramakrishna's. So even now I get very inspired. Anything useless comes out of this mouth, don't blame him. Beautiful it is. Because I was like, wow. So to the higher, what will you do? So all the goodness that you have gets, all the virtues, all the goodness that you have, you attribute it to the higher. Iti sushruma purvesham yenas tad vyacha chakshire. Upanishad does that. Krishna also does that in Bhagavad Gita. So that's how you pay your gratitude to the higher. You follow? Therefore, What do you do? This is how you operate. Is it okay?
No, that was not my question. My question was that about practicing objectivity. I'm bringing in the hierarchy because I wanted to know whether are these belonging to external or internal?
What is external? What is internal?
Because you said that to practice objectivity, start from the external and then you move on to internal. Therefore,
Then the
in
question is,
hierarchy is
what is external? What is
in
internal?
this hierarchy, what is are they
There is no
external or
hierarchy.
internal?
Forget the hierarchy. What is external? What is internal? The answer is already there. In the stranger acquaintance equals higher. What is external? What is internal? Is there anything internal in that four? Is there anything internal in that four? All four are? You gave one big notes on what I defined as internal and external, correct? In that, based on that list, is there anything internal in that? Stranger acquaintance equal higher. Is there anything internal in that? What is internal? What is the list of internal that is given? What is the list of internal that is given? The body, the mind, the intellect is the internal. Stranger acquaintance equals higher is external. Having given that very clearly, now you cannot come and ask what is internal and what is external. Read that again. All four are external. Now, what is the question?
So to practice objectivity, I cannot start from body, mind, intellect. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct. That's what we are saying. You cannot start with your body, mind, intellect. When you have sickness, you cannot be objective to your sickness. You will be involved in your pain, and your pain will be very, very high. What is practicing objectivity? When somebody is in pain, what is objectivity there? When somebody is in pain, what is objectivity there? Do you feel the pain? You should not feel the pain. If you are feeling the pain, you are imagining. That pain doesn't belong to you. It is that person's pain. Now, what is objectivity now? Understanding the person is in pain, you want to help. Are you able to follow? Understanding that person in pain, you want to help. What is the help that you will do? Maybe you will take them to the doctor, maybe you give them medication, or maybe you will help them with some money and say, go and see the doctor. Are you able to follow? With the stranger, what will you do? When the stranger is in pain, what will you do? Call the ambulance. When the acquaintance is in pain, what will you do? You will give them some money and say, go and see the doctor. When there is an equal, what will you do? What will you do? When there's an equal, you will take that person to the, you will accompany that person to the hospital. Higher, what will you do? This is confusing. Higher, what will you do? You will want to bring the hospital here. Yeah, you want to bring the hospital here because of the highest. Are you able to follow objectivity now? All four are sick. Who are the four? Stranger, acquaintance, all four are sick. Now, when a stranger falls sick, what will you do? A stranger meets with an accident. What will you do? What is objectivity? You can't leave your job, stay with that person, take that person, do all that. What will you do? You will call the ambulance, correct? Instead of turning indifferent and going, you will call the ambulance. Where is the problem there? Acquaintance, what will you do? You give them some money. You will not take that person to the hospital and sit with that person in the hospital. You give them, if equal, what will you do? You will take that person to the higher means what will you do? You want to bring the hospital and forget the higher. Attend to all the three first. Forget the higher. Why? Because the higher can take care of itself. Are you able to follow?
So when you're saying practice objectivity with the external, you are saying practice in this hierarchy.
Yes,
To them first to practice
yes.
objectivity. So what is practicing objectivity with the body, mind, intellect?
Forget it now. I'm saying you cannot practice it, leave it. I'm saying you cannot practice objectivity to your body, mind, intellect, leave it. You cannot. If you can practice, where is the problem? You cannot practice. Start from where you can practice and move gradually. Don't sit and speculate. Don't sit and theorize. Don't try to put everything on paper. Certain things, if you cannot do, you cannot do now. You cannot practice objectivity to your body, mind, and intellect. What is objectivity to your mind means? Somebody insults you, can you be objective to that? Somebody has cheated you, can you be objective to that? What objectivity can you practice there? Anger and revenge is coming. Are you able to follow? No, you can't tell the person, don't get angry. Where is the problem? Intellectually, somebody tells you honor or dishonor, intellectually. Are you able to follow? No, objectivity, to practicing oneself objectivity and all requires a lot of tapas behind it. Ada karma yoga panni, panchamaha yajna panni tapas and the strength lada, you can practice objectivity to your body, mind, intellect. If you can directly practice objectivity to your body, mind, intellect, panchamaha yajna is irrelevant, karma yoga is irrelevant, tapas is irrelevant. Why? Because straight away you can practice, no? Are you able to follow? You cannot practice. Any other question? Yeah. You follow? Verse number 3 and 4 combined. Verse number 3 and 4 combined, we are studying. So many qualities for Brahman he gave. Anirdeshyam, Avyaktam, Achintyam, Sarvagam, Kutastam, Achalam, Dhruvam, various attributes, various indicators of Brahman is given. Mundaka Upanishad gives that, no? Yattadadreshyam agrahyam gotram varnam achakshushotram tatapanipadam susukshmam sarvagatam vibhum yadbhutayonim. All this is the indicators of Brahman. Now Arjuna is asking, remember Arjuna's question. What is the question? Those who are worshipping you with form Vishwarupa, or those who you are? Those who is worshipping these Arupa, these aspects of them, who is superior. First he said, they are superior. Here he saying, they also come to me. They are superior, but these people also come to me. Who are they? Those who constantly meditate on me. Those who constantly meditate on me. Those who constantly, if you constantly meditate, you can remember. So in order to remember, you should meditate. Meditation means constantly thinking. Remembrance is possible only when you have thought about it so much. You hear it and then you forget it. It will not stay with you. So what is this thinking What is this bhakti? We have said that bhakti, the technical word is upasana. In fact, bhakti itself means, from the root bhaja, means constant remembrance. How can you constantly remember? Only when you go on chanting, you can remember. How to remember? Only when you have thought about it so much that you can never ever forget. So there are two people. One whose object of meditation is Vishwarupa. For another, the object of meditation is these indicators of Brahman. Are you able to follow now? Two things. For one, the object of meditation is Vishwarupa. They see God in a form and they meditate on that. Think about that form constantly. That is one group of worshippers. Another group of worshippers is they constantly think about this avyaktam, achintyam, kutastam, etc. Who is superior? Meditation means mentally sitting near. There is a physical proximity and then there is a mental proximity. Are you able to follow? Physical proximity is where you can physically sit. In Upasana, in Bhakti, we are not talking about physical proximity, but we are talking about the mental proximity. And how do you develop this mental proximity? How do you develop this mental proximity? This mental proximity is developed by constantly thinking about it. When you are constantly thinking about it, you are not entertaining any other thought. Are you able to follow? See, mental proximity can be achieved in only one way. What? Entertaining thought regarding that. Mental proximity. If you have been constantly thinking about a person in your head, you would have developed a mental proximity to that person. So mental proximity is achieved only by one way. What is that? Constantly entertaining thought regarding that. It could be an object, it could be a person. And that when you constantly keep entertaining thought regarding that, you are not entertaining any other thought. Because you are not entertaining any other thought, other desires loses their intensity. Because desires are created by thinking, sustained by thinking, getting strength by constantly thinking. Desires are created by thinking, sustained by thinking, intensified by continue to think. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. 62, 63. The formula, it's told very clearly. Now, what is the way to reduce the desire? Start thinking about something else. You cannot reduce the desire by saying, no, because you will be still thinking about it. Superficially, you will be calling it as useless, but deep down, you will be interested in that only. Therefore, what is the methodology? What is the way in which the desires are created? By you constantly thinking about it. Now, what you have to do? Replace the thought. Replace it. One kind of replacement is Vishwarupa. Another kind of replacement is Aksharam, Avyaktam, etc. But both comes under the same principle. What is the same principle? Replacement of thought. When the thoughts are getting replaced, that is called Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means thoughts are replaced. Replacement of thoughts. One. Second is the thought should flow continuously. Every thought must be similar to the previous thought. You should not have dissimilar thoughts, unbroken thoughts. Astira Chanchala. All that we have studied earlier, I'm just trying to combine everything together. That is Astira and Chanchala. And Astira and Chanchala means broken thoughts, dissimilar thoughts. Meditation means similar thought. Ram Subramaniam. Meditation means a similar thought. Astira Chanchala means dissimilar thought. It is also thought, but dissimilar. Dissimilar in the sense you will be jumping one to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other. It will be jumping. Yeah. Step number 1 is to replace the thought. That's why they say, do this japa, do this puja, do this actions, because when you are doing this, your thoughts are getting replaced. But then, sir, mechanically I am doing, but my thoughts are elsewhere. Bring back. It's an indication of your indiscipline. It is not the puja or the prayer is wrong. It's not the puja is wrong. It's not the prayer or the puja is wrong. Your mind is jumping. Therefore, what do? Bring it. Therefore, what do? You bring it back. Bring it back. And when you bring it back, remain in this mental state. Remain in this mental state. In this, there are two. What are the two now? This is the method. Now, Arjuna is asking a technical question. What is a technical question? Is the direct methods, is the direct means for liberation better or indirect means for liberation better? Pakasya vakniva jnanam vina moksho na siddhyati. Atmabodha, he said it very clearly. There are two. There is an indirect method and then there is a direct method. What is the direct method for liberation? Jnanam, nirguna upasana is the direct means for liberation, and this saguna upasana is indirect. Indirect in the sense it will help you to come to this. So a person who has not done Vishwarupa cannot come to nirguna upasana. Supposing if you have bypassed without Vishwarupa, why can't I come here directly? You can't come here directly. Why you can't come here directly? Because in order to come to Nirguna Upasana, you should be able to say, Nirdosham hi samam Brahma. I am without dosha. I am Kutastha. I am all pervading. You must be able to say that. Mechanically, you can say it. Try it out. More than 10 seconds, you cannot say it with intensity. Your mind will go elsewhere. It means what? You are not yet matured for this Nirguna Upasana. Therefore, what do you do? Go back to the indirect means, prepare and come back. Pakasya vakniva jnanam vina moksho na siddhyati. Atmabodha. Fire is the direct means to cooking. And then there are indirect means. What are the indirect means? Preparation. Is preparation part of cooking? Yes, it is part of cooking. But by itself, it doesn't turn into cooking. Therefore, we say preparation is part of cooking, but then indirect. Please understand, indirect doesn't mean inferior. The biggest problem today is most of the commentators, the indirect, they started talking about it as inferior. Therefore, whoever hears this, they go on thinking, oh, why? If it is inferior, then why should I? Why should I go for it? Indirect doesn't mean it is inferior. Indirect means you can't bring in direct cause and effect, that's all. Are you able to follow? Though fire is the direct means for cooking, you can't say preparation and all is not cooking. Preparation is also part of cooking. One. Number two, long time goes in preparation. Actual cooking, correct? Actual cooking happens like that. Preparation takes lot of time. It means indirect always takes a long time. And how much you have prepared well, direct happens fast. Therefore, there is no indirect direct means for liberation. There's only one means for liberation. In that one means there is a preparation and then there is a practice. Now, Arjuna didn't understand this. So he thought of the two, which is better. Wrong comparison. Yeah, wrong comparison. If you have to compare, you have to compare two cricketers. You can't compare a Carnatic musician and a cricketer, isn't it? It's unequal comparison. You have to compare equally. From the same, you have to compare. You cannot compare from here and there. Upasana means manaha asana is upasana. That's a definition of the word upasana. The definition of the word upasana is manaha asana. Manaha means mentally. That's why even in the relative sense of love and all that, we always ask what? Where are you mentally? Isn't it? Because it is mental proximity that is upasana. How to attain mental proximity? You cannot attain mental proximity by physically sitting. Are you able to follow? Again, I repeat. How to attain mental proximity? You cannot physically go to the place, hold the hand and sit and become. So mental proximity is possible only by continuously thinking. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi, all this talks about gradations of flow of thought without breaks. All this is nothing but the flow of thought, gradations, that's all. Dharana is one level of gradation, dhyana is another grade, samadhi is another. Venkatachalam, are you able to follow? Therefore, the challenge here is very difficult for the thought in the initial stages to go to Vishwarupa and very difficult for the thought to come into Brahman, because Brahman being Indriya Abocharam. Instrumental, because Brahman being a thing that cannot be comprehended by it, it will be very difficult to think about replacing thought with Brahman. Therefore, what do you do? You objectify it first. Because when you objectify it first, you can register it in the mind. That's why we say objectification of Brahman is Om. Is Om Brahman? Om is not Brahman. Om is objectification of Brahman. But when you objectify it, it is easy for you to focus your thoughts. Without objectifying, very difficult to make the thought flow. Therefore, what do you do? Level number one, objectify Brahman like that. And then level number two, go into the abstracts. Kutastam. Yeah. Kutastam. Kuta means Maya. Kuta means Maya. Kutastam means that which is the adhishtanam for Maya. Kuta means Maya. Kutastha means that which is the adhishthana, because upon this only the superimposition has happened. Kutastha means tasmin kuta sthitam. That's called Kutastha. Beautiful definitions. Each and every word feel like Leon. We feel like taking each and every word and elaborating. அது வந்து பாஷ்யா படிக்கணும் இல்லையா? We have to open up the பாஷ்யா study. இப்பெல்லாம் we are studying the மூலம். Someday if we have the time and inclination energy, we do the bhashyam study. Angadan we can go into all these elaboration. So much of elaboration we can go to. There, Kutastha. What is Kutastha there? Tasmin Kuta Sthitam. In Maya, Brahman is present. In Maya, in world, Brahman is present. Therefore, Brahman is called Kutastham, that which supports the Maya, that which is present in Maya. Beautiful is this. Again, Kutastham means unshaken. Again, Kutastham means unshaken. It is present and unshaken. Dhruvam. That which doesn't, achalam. That achalam becomes dhruvam. What is finite can move from place to place. Whatever is motionless is infinite. The earth is moving, everything is moving. Everything is moving. Even the mountains are moving, no? Then earthquake vandada, we understand mountains are also moving, isn't it? Otherwise, mountains looks like stationary, but they are not stationary. They are also moving. It means everything is moving. So all that is moving becomes finite. This is infinite. And then the disciplines. What is the discipline? Verse number 4. Samniyandrendriya gramam sarvatra samam, all that. Indriya gramam means the entire set of indriyas. What are the indriyas? Karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, the mind. All put together is called as indriya gramam here. All put together is indriya gramam. The jnanendriyas, the karmendriyas, and then the mind. This indriya gramam controlling is very important, because when you close your eyes, you don't have to close your eyes and all. I'm just simply saying, when you close your eyes sitting in front of God, family problem should not come, office problem should not come, politics should not come, but all will come. Yeah. For 10 nimisham, 10 minutes do some japa, na, mind will not do japa for 10 minutes, na, mind is not cooperating. It's going everywhere. It can go everywhere, but you restrain and bring it back. That is Sanniyante, that Indriya Gramam, because of lack of training, it will go everywhere, and you have to bring it back. See, in a classroom like this, you will never know how many times your mind goes and comes back. So you think you are concentrating. In a classroom like this, you don't know how many times it went away, how many times it came back. You won't know. But when you sit for japa, you know. When you sit for japa, you know. Therefore is what Indriya, you need to have this. You need to have this. You need to have this control. Sarvatra samabuddhaya. Sarvatra Samabuddhaya means seeing everything, regarding everything equally. All this is a practice. At the Vishwarupa Darshana level, it is a practice. At the Nirguna Upasana level, it becomes your natural state. At one level, you need to do this regarding everything equally is a practice at the, it's a practice at the Vishwarupa level, it's a practice. Remember that. It is a practice at the Vishwarupa level, it's a practice. That regarding everything equally, Sarvatra Samabuddhaya. It's a practice. Opposite of that is what? If you are not regarding everything equally, you have Raga Dvesha. You have Raga Dvesha. Now, how can you have Raga Dvesha towards divine? You can't have Raga Dvesha towards divine. If you say you can't have Raga Dvesha towards divine, then you can't have Raga Dvesha towards anything in creation. Why? Because each and every Nama Rupa is divine. How can you say each and every Nama Rupa is divine? Brahman becomes the world. Brahman creates the world by becoming the world. God has created the world by becoming the world. Therefore, if you are hating somebody, who are you hating? God. Imagine, even if you can't even put a neutral God, put your Ishtadevata God. Hating anybody is hating Rama. Suppose if you have Ishtadevata Rama, take like that. Suppose if you have Ishtadevata like Krishna, having hatred towards anybody in creation is having hatred towards Krishna. But sir, that person is a terrorist, no? That person is a terrorist, no? In the level of Vishwarupa Darshana, terrorism is also a part of Nama Rupa. Vishwarupa means everything is divine. We have seen that. We have seen all that already. We can't go back to 10th and 11th chapter again and again and again. We have seen all that. We have studied all that in detail anyway. So we can never, it may be difficult for us to digest it. That's our problem. But the law doesn't change. What is it? Everything in creation is Vishwarupa only, divine only. One who's hurting you is also divine. One who's saving you is also divine. Both are divine. That is Vishwarupa Darshan. That is regarding everything equally. Rejoicing in the welfare of all beings. Rejoicing in the welfare of all beings. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. That's the constant prayer. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu sarvasan mangalani santu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu sarvasan mangalani santu. Rejoicing in the welfare of all. Yeah. You are so happy. You are so happy. You are so happy in the rejoicing in the welfare of all. But sir, when I look around, everybody is in misery. No. Where is the way? How can I rejoice? Because if I see somebody in welfare, I can rejoice. When I see everybody in misery, how can I rejoice? Then what is it meant by rejoicing the welfare of all beings means? Rejoicing in the welfare of all beings doesn't mean the rejoicing in the material, physical, mental welfare. Somebody gotten something, it's not the material welfare rejoicement. It is not the emotional rejoicement. Now, what is it rejoicing in the welfare of all beings? What is welfare means? Carefully follow. Welfare means you are able to recognize the law functioning effectively. Welfare means the law functioning effectively, and you are rejoicing because the law is functioning Effectively. It is the effective functioning of the law that is the rejoice. Not somebody's profit. Not somebody, that is not welfare. Welfare means it's you are able to recognize the effective functioning of the law. And when you see the law functioning effectively, you are happy about it. Why? Because when you see somebody in distress, you see the law functioning effectively. Because of the law functioning effectively, that person has an opportunity to get out of that now. Are you able to follow? You are not rejoicing in this misery of somebody is in misery. You are not laughing about it. You are not joyful about it. So what is rejoicing in the welfare means? Because technically speaking, at any given point of time, there is no such thing called welfare of all. Either it is welfare for the deer or welfare for the lion. There is no welfare of lion and deer at the same time. Then what is this welfare of all? When you see the law functioning effectively, and the law functioning effectively gives you a sense of a joy, a peace, rejoicing in the welfare of all. They also come to me. They also come to me. Rejoicing in the welfare of all and regarding everything equally. Don't worry. We will be discussing it for 1 year. We'll be discussing that in the 35 qualities. Don't worry. Yeah, we're just sidetracking it now so that only to come back to it, because he's giving us 35 opportunities to discuss that. What is rejoicing equally, regarding everything equally, rejoicing the welfare of all. He's giving us 35 qualities. There we'll understand it in detail. With this, we conclude for today. We'll continue with verse number 5 onwards.